Okay, next is what we are having this with after this particular security association. I just tell you that what are the different modes of this. We have a IPsec protocol mode, like we have a transport mode and the tunnel mode. So we have, as we have discussed earlier, we have two security modes, IP security modes. So one, we are having this transport mode, and another one is your tunnel mode. Okay, so one is your transport mode and the another one is the tunnel mode. So in this particular mode, we can see that I think we first discuss that header format, then I will discuss this particular thing, because we are using that payload things that are available in that particular header part. Okay, so before discussing this modes, I just discuss the authentication header and that ESP, that is encapsulating security protocol. Okay, so first of all is your authentication header. So you just leave that particular topic. After the completion of this particular protocols, I will be discussing the tunnel mode and the transport mode. Now for the first mode that we will discuss, first protocol that we will discuss over here, that is the authentication header protocol. So there is one diagram related to this authentication header. Like we have a authentication data. Okay, so we have a sequence number. Then we have security parameter index. Parameter index. Then we have this is next header. This is your payload length. And the last we have that reserved bits. So we have a general structure that how these protocols work upon. Okay, so we have a total size of this particular thing, that is 0 to 31. The total size is 32 bits. Okay, so we have this particular total size is 32 bits, and for this next header we have this 0 to 8, and for the payload length we have 8 to 16. Now this is the authentication header. This is the, we can say that header for the authentication format. So if we are using this authentication header, we need to follow all these instructions. Okay, now what is the purpose of all these things? So authentication header provides support for data integrated and authentication of IP packet. So your authentication header provides support for data integrity and the authentication of IP packet. Clear? So why we require authentication header protocol? If we want support for the data integrity or the authentication header over here. So in that particular case, we require this authentication header protocol. So it provides support for data integrity and the authentication of the IP packet. Clear? Next is that integrated, what we mean by term integrated? So by integrity, we mean that the data that we are transferring, it is not modified. Okay, so that particular data has not been modified. That means no intruders have no intruder in between the transferring of data from source to destination has not modified that data. So as it is, as whatever the data that is being sent by the source, as it is, as it has been received at the destination part. That is we mean by the integrated one. Now what is authentication? That both the user, like at both the endpoints or both the source and the destination person, are the authentic user. Okay, so they both are the authentic user. Now what is the purpose of this next header? So this next, I just go through all these points. I will provide you with that notes you can write upon. You just listen to this, all these formats, so all these components that are available in this authentication header. So the very first thing is the next header. So what is your next header over here? That when you are using this particular thing, when you are defining this next header part. Yes, Yash, any problem?
Prince is waiting outside.
Sorry,
Prince is waiting outside.
your voice is not audible.
Hello?
हाँ जी बच्चे,
Hello?
हाँ जी बोलिए. Okay, so the very first thing is the next header. Now this your next header is 8 bits. Okay, so what it will tell, it will identify the type of header immediately following this particular header. Okay, so next header will tell you it is a 8-bit component that will tell you that what particular header will be followed by after this particular header format. Okay, so if you are using this AH part, so okay, so what packet, what the next packet you will be receiving, what next header you will be receiving after the completion of this particular part, that will belong to this next header. Okay, next is the payload length. Then we have that payload length, which is also 8 bits. Okay, so this is the original data that we are transferring. Payload length will include the original data and it is 8 bits. And it is 8 bits. Okay, so next header will tell you the type of a header immediately following this particular header. Next header. Next मतलब इसके बाद अगला what will be the header you will be using, that will be your next header. Payload length will tell you the original data. Okay, so payload length will tell you the original data you are transferring. Second is the reserved bits. Okay, so reserved bits are total size is 16 bits. What is the size of this reserve bits? That is for the 16 bits that we can use for the future use. Like in future we want to give some particular extensions, or we can add some different add-ons on this particular header, that will be included in this particular reserved bits. Okay, so we will be including all these reserved bits over here. Yes, Mridul, any problem?
Ma'am, Prince is waiting outside. He
Achha.
can't enter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are having this reserve bits over here. Okay, so what is this reserve bit? That will be the extension to this particular format. So if we need to add some particular add-ons, या हमने कुछ changes करने हैं, okay, या हमने we want to provide some extension in future, so we have reserved that 16 bits for that. Clear? Next is your security parameter index. Now this your SPI that we have already discussed in the this particular association part, like security association. That means we have a total 32 bits of the security parameter index. Okay, so we are providing 32 bits for the security parameter index that will identify the security association. So it will identify that what type of a security associations you are having, what type of a security you are providing to this particular packet. Okay, so it will provide you the different security associations. Okay, so it will identify that what type of a security you are providing on that particular data. Clear? So that is the this particular security association. Clear? Next is your sequence number. This is your sequence number, that is again a 32 bits. As you will send that particular packet, it will be incremented. So sequence number क्या है? That in which sequence you are transferring the data. The total number is the total length is the 32 bits. Like you have transferred one packet, so once your that sequence number is 1. Serial number जिसको आप बोल सकते हो. Okay, so so we have that 02, what is its side? It is a 32 bits sequence number, and it can range from 0 to 2 raised to power 32 minus 1. Okay, so 2 raised to power 32 minus 1. This is the sequence number you are, and it will automatically get incremented. Okay, so as you send packet, it will get automatically incremented over here. Clear? So this is regarding this sequence number. Similarly, last may we have that authentication data. In that authentication data, it consists of ICV, integrated integrity check value. Okay, it will consist of integrity check value for that particular packet. ठीक है, so authentication data में we have ICV, that is integrity check value for that particular packet. Okay, so the value of this ICV will be variable. Okay, so this particular value will be variable. Why? Because the data sent from, it will check that the data that is sent from sender is not modified. So it is a variable because it will be following different algorithms, different techniques to just check that particular data has not been modified. Uski value jo hogi, that will be variable. That is variable for this particular value. Okay, so it will keep check that the integrity of that particular message has been maintained. This is the purpose of this ICV, that is integrity check value. I hope this authentication header is clear to you. So I just repeat it again. In this authentication header, total size is 32 bits. We have the next header that will tell us that after this particular header, what will be the next header that it will implement. Okay, next is the payload length that will tell you the original data that you are transferring. So we have 8-bit data for that. We have a reserved bit components, that is again a a 16-bit data. So we have reserved some bits for the future use in case if we want to use if we want to add something into that particular thing, at that time we can use this reserved bit concept. Okay, next is the security parameter index that will identify what type of a security associations you are having. Okay, आपका mode कौन सा है, what protocol you are using, okay, what type of a security you are providing. So all those parameters that we have discussed last in the previous topic, that will be followed in this particular security parameters index. इसको हम SPI बोलते हैं. Okay, then we have that sequence of number. Sequence of number is 32 bits, and it can range from 0 to 2 raised to a 32 minus 1. So this is the sequence number. As you proceed with the one packet, so its a sequence number will automatically get incremented. Clear? Last may we have that authentication data. So in that authentication data, we have ICV. Okay, so we have integrated check value that will tell us that what type of that the integrity of that particular packet has been maintained or not. And always its size will be variable because it will be using some different algorithm just to check upon the integrity of that particular data. Clear? So this was all about authentication header. I hope this is quite quite interesting and easy part. So if you are comfortable, kindly raise your hands if you are clear with this topic, so that I can move further with that particular encapsulating security. So all these topics are very interesting. Undoubtedly, they are not, we don't have any practical implementation of that. But these things are quite effective when we are working on a particular network. So you must understand all these terms. So while developing such a system in which you need to transfer that particular thing on the network, you will be using all those things. Clear? So next is the ESP part, that is encapsulating security payload. Okay, so we have encapsulating security payload. So this encapsulating security ESP, like we have discussed that authentication header. Why we require that in the authentication header? To provide two features. One is your that is yes Ritika, any problem?
No, ma'am.
Okay, आपने hand raise किया था ना? Okay, what is that ESP? That is encapsulating security payload. This is encapsulating security payload. I just write once, encapsulating security payload. Okay, so what is this ESP? That is encapsulating security payload. So that authentication header was providing us with integrity and the authentication feature. Okay, so integrity is that no change, no modification has been done to the original data. Authentication is what? When we are authenticating both the ends, that is the server end also and the receiver end also. Okay, that is the authentication. So we are left with the one basic parameter, that is the confidentiality. Okay, so that confidentiality is being implemented by this particular ESP. Okay, so we have that confidentiality portion over here that is being provided by that ESP. Okay, so we have ESP that will provide authentication, and optionally it can provide you with that authentication part also. Okay, so it is not necessary that your ESP is not implementing authentication. It can provide you with the authentication, and this feature is optional in this particular case. We will discuss that how this is optional. So you can say that in ESP, we use this ESP, that is encapsulating security payload, basically for the or primarily for the confidentiality part. But we can also use it with authentication and without authentication. Clear? So we can we just discussed this. It's we can say that header format. So we have again that is 0, 16, 24, and here is 31. So we have that SPI, security parameter index. We have a sequence number over here. Then we have that payload data. Then we have padding bits. And in the last part, we have this authentication part, authentication data. So complete format will provide you this authentication part. And if you are defining this particular data till payload and this padding portion, that will define you the confidentiality part. Okay, so main that confidentiality is being implemented in this particular portion. Okay, as compared to your this authentication. If you are using the complete header set, then that means you are providing the authentication. So we can see over here that we have a security parameter index. So again, what is that security parameter index? That will tell you that what type of a security associations you are having. Okay, that will define what type of a security associations we are having. That is being defined in your SPI. Okay, So we have that what type of a security associations we are having that we define under this security parameter index. Next is your sequence number. Okay, so next is your sequence number that will tell you that what type of a that it is also again a 32-bit sequence number, and it can range from 0 to 2 raised to power 32 minus 1 that we have already discussed in that authentication header format. Okay, so what is the role of this sequence number that we can add all those authentication part. Okay, so we can add upon that what type of a particular packet has been transferred, we can define in this sequence number. So this parameter also is same as that of the authentication part. Next we have that payload data over here. Now this payload data is variable. Okay, so again this payload data will be variable part. Okay, and what will happen that normal data is in the encrypted format. So in this payload data, what we are doing that we have a normal data also in the encrypted format. So this is the main thing. We are providing encryption in this particular header format, that is ESP. That's why it is providing you with that confidentiality part. Okay, so this is the confidentiality part that we are discussing through the use of this payload data. Why so? Because in this payload data, we are using all those data in the encryption part. Okay, so we are defining that encrypted data in this particular payload data. Now the next term is the padding part. Now this padding padding will range from 0 to 255 bytes. Okay, अब padding bytes क्या होती है हमारे पास, bits क्या होती है हमारे पास? So how we can define this particular padding format? Like now let's suppose we as we have discussed so many algorithm, encryption algorithm. So in that particular encryption algorithm, we have always talked about the block size. Now let's suppose my size for the plain text is 64 bytes, but currently, but the available size is only 62 bytes. Then what will happen? Then we can take 2 bytes from this padding bytes. Clear? You just listen to me. Like during the encryption format, in the previous algorithms, every time we have discussed that we have a block of data. So all those block of data are under some particular bytes. Now let's suppose there is a condition, we have a 64 bytes of data that we need to encrypt. But my available size is only 62. Then what will happen? I can use 2 bytes from this padding bit. Okay, so I can use this size from this padding weight, that is extra. I will take 2 bytes and I will make that 62 bit that is currently available size to 64 bytes. Then only I can accommodate that particular encryption format. So padding bytes are required in order to just provide any type of extension to the data if it is not matching the total size of the plain text. Okay, so at that particular time we can use this padding bytes over here. Okay, so so whatever the encryption we are using, we can take, while doing that encryption, we can take extra bytes from this padding bytes. Next is the pad length over here. So how we can define this term, that is a pad length, that will tell us that how many bytes you are using for the padding purpose. So like in my example, I am taking 2 bytes extra. So this is my pad length over here. Okay, so this is my pad length. Now the next term is the next header. So what is this next header? That will tell us that what type of a data is in the payload data field. Okay, so what type of a data it is defining, that is defining under this next header format. Okay, so what type of a data that you will be using, that will be defining in your this next header format over here. Okay, so payload me what type of a data we are using, that will be defining under this next header format. Now this next header is somehow different from the previous authentication header part. Clear? Okay, now the last portion is the authentication data. Now you just see to it, like confidentiality part is due to these 2 parameters. One is your payload data, second is the padding data. Now what I have said in the starting part, that you can implement this ESP with authentication also and without authentication also. Now this authentication data is optional. Okay, so if you are not including this particular authentication data, then you are just providing the confidentiality of data. But when you are using this authentication data, like here this particular case at that time, that means you are implementing that you are implementing that ESP with the help of a along with that authentication part also. Okay, so this is how you can define this particular thing. Clear? So this is the authentication data over here. Okay, so again that authentication data, that it is a optional, and if we want to include it we can enable it, otherwise we have to disable that particular authentication part. Okay, next is that again it is a variable and it contains that ICV, integrity check value. This is same as that of that particular previous authentication header part. So what is the different portion over here? That is the padding portion that we have. That's why its name is encapsulating security payload, because it is using the different format of that padding data. Clear? So it can provide you that extension if we need to provide the confidentiality and we need to increase the size of that particular block, then we can use this padding concepts. Is it clear? I hope this is clear to you. Then what we can define in this particular ESP format. So we again this SPI sequence number payload data. Okay, so this authentication we have done in this previous authentication header part also. And what different is the padding portion over here. Okay, so padding portion may we can provide some extra bits that can help you to just increase the size of your block that you need to encrypt before transferring of that particular data over here. Clear? So these things are clear to you. So confidentiality is only because of this payload data and padding. So if you want to implement this ESP without authentication header, you just disable this authentication data. And if you want to enable this authentication data, that means you are providing ESP with authentication part also. Clear? So I hope this is clear to you. So that the last topic, that is a modes I can discuss. Kindly raise your hands if you are clear with this ESP part. Okay. Now I think you are clear with this payload part and all. Now I will make you understand that what is the purpose of this tunnel mode and the transport mode. Okay. So I just tell you. So we have two types of IP security modes. IP security modes. So one is your transport mode and another one is your tunnel mode. Now in this transport mode, what happened? Now let's suppose we have this H and P. This is your header part and P, that is your payload part. Okay, so this is your payload. Payload is what? The original data you are having, and H is defining your header part. So what you are doing in this transport mode, your payload is encrypted but not the IP header. So you are encrypting the payload part. Payload is encrypted but not header, but not the header part. Okay, so payload is encrypted but not the IP header part you are encrypting. Okay, so हमारे पास original कैसे आएगा? Like we have a IP header over here. Original form किस form में होती है हमारी ऐसे? One we are having header part, another we are having that payload part. So IP header is there. Then we have IP sec header, security header we are included, and we have this payload part. हमने अपना security part लगा दिया, इधर लगा दिया हमने. Okay, we have included that security header format and we have encrypted this particular payload part also. ठीक है? So we have included the encrypted, we have encrypted IPsec header, encrypted the payload part. ये by using this IPsec header part, ठीक है? हमने क्या किया? We have encrypted our payload part. So this type of a mode in which you are encrypting the payload part but not the header part, that is your transport mode. That will be your transport mode in which you are encrypting your header part, encrypting your payload part, but not the header part. Clear? So that particular thing is known as a transport mode over here. Okay, so now this IPsec header could be of any type. It could be authentication header, it could be ESP part. We are not concerned with that. But the thing is that we are just encrypting the payload part only. So that means we are not encrypting the that header part. We are just encrypting the payload part. And what is the tunnel mode in this? Payload as well as your IP header part are encrypted. IP header part are encrypted. तो हमारे पास क्या हो गया? New, we will generate a new IP header. So what we do? We generate the new IP header. Okay, then we have that IPsec header, security header. Okay, then we have this IP header format and the payload part. तो हमने क्या किया? We have inserted this particular thing. Okay, so हमारे पास insertion कहाँ हुई है? We have inserted this particular. Now we are encrypting both these things. ठीक है, तो हमने insertion कहाँ की है? The insertion is being done during the encryption part. Okay, we have inserted this particular header format and we have inserted this new IP header format also. So this is the tunnel mode. Okay, so you just understand in an easy way that what is happening, that in the tunnel mode, we are encrypting both the header format also and the payload also. So IP header could be of any part, like it could be authentication header or it could be ESP header. Okay, so we can use any type of this part over here, that is IP security header. So we can use this particular thing and we are encrypting both the things over here. Clear? So this is all about that transport mode and the tunnel mode. Now again with the example I just tell you. Now let's suppose we have two endpoints over here, A and B. Okay, so when we have end-to-end communication, that is A to B directly, at that time we are using transport mode. Okay, when we have a both end-to-end communication between this, let's suppose these are two hosts over there. This is your sender, this is your receiver. Okay, so you are having two hosts and both these hosts are ending directly with each other. So that means you are using the transport mode. Next, when you are using gateways, okay, now like you are having G1 for this A and G2 for this. So the communication is not directly but through the concept of that gateways. Okay, so at that time you are using this tunnel mode over here. Okay, so no direct communication, that is through the help of a gateways you are using. At that time you are using the tunnel mode. So we have, when we are having gateway to gateway communication, at that time we are using tunnel mode. Okay, so this is all about this tunnel mode and the transport mode. This is just for your knowledge only, that why we require, what is the use of this tunnel mode and the transport mode. So you can define, this is also one of your security association parameter. Okay, so sometimes you need to specify that what type of a mode you are using while transferring the data. So at that time you must check that what type of a data you are mode you are using, that is a transport mode or the tunnel mode. Clear? So I hope this topic is clear to you. So you can kindly raise your hands if you are satisfied with this particular topic. Okay, now I will just share one poll with you, and after that we will start with another part. Okay. So I am going to launch the poll.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mani?
मैम फुल फॉर्म क्या है इसकी आईपी की इंटरनेट प्रोटोकॉल या इंफॉर्मेशन
Internet protocol.
ओके मैम
Okay, student, I am going to end poll. So these are the okay. So IP security is designed to provide the security at the network layer. Okay, so we are using this particular IP security at the network layer over here. Clear? Second is that dash is the standard suite of protocol between two communication. So we have IETF. This is the right answer. Second option is the right answer. Clear? So I just stop this poll and now I am going to launch the second poll also. So you just see to this particular poll. Yes, sorry, any problem?
फोन ही विजिबल हो रहा है।
फोन विजिबल नहीं है? नहीं, ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं है। आप दोबारा से करो, हाँ ज्वाइन करो दोबारा से।
ओके।
Okay, students, I am going to end this poll. So I'm sharing results with you. The authentication header provides, this is confidentiality, integrity or security. So it provides integrity only. Okay. No doubt this integrity is the part of the security, but when we talk about security, there are so many factors, but we are concerned with only the integrity portion. So that's why portion is the right answer. So how many bits are for future use we reserve in authentication header? That is 16 bits. This is the right answer. Okay, the third option is the right one. Okay, now coming back to the our topic. So next topic is the SSL, that is secure socket layer. So the next topic is regarding the SSL part. This is a secure socket layer. Now first of all is that now this is also one of the, we can say that layer that we can encapsulate, or that we can just fix it, that particular layer in between your application layer. Okay, so we are, as you might be aware about all those layers that we have during that particular, we can say that in a network. So you have done this particular topic in your computer networks also. So we have a different types of layers over here. So like we have a application layer, and if we are need to transfer, if we want to make the transmission secure on a particular layer, then we have a special layer over here, that is a secure socket layer. Okay, so this secure socket layer is available in between your application layer and your transport layer. Clear? So it is available, this secure socket layer is available in between your application layer and the transport layer when you are interesting in order to make your layer more secure. So you are not using at this particular time any type of a, we can say that authentication and all those things algorithms, but you are directly making your layer itself a secure layer. Okay, so at that time you can use the concept of a secure socket layer. So when we need to transfer data between a server and a client, okay, or between two entities, one is your source or a destination, or a from web browser or a web server, at that time you can provide security using this secure SSL layer, that is secure socket layer. Now when we talk about, we are talking about again and again security. So whenever a term comes security, that means we are talking about three factors over here. The first factor is the integrity. Second factor is your confidentiality. Okay, and the third factor is your authentication. I hope now you have understood about all these three factors, like why we require this integrity. So what is an integrity? When we don't require any type of a undesired modification. Okay, so we want our message as it is, there is no change in that particular message, that is a integrity. Confidentiality is what? When the sender sends the data to the receiver, only receiver will receive the data. Okay, so there is no chance that intruder can enter that particular communication channel and it can get your data. Okay, so that is the case of that confidentiality. Authentication is what? That the two entities must be authentic, that is your sender and the receiver, both these parties should be authentic. Sender should be right one and the receiver should be right one. In that case you are using this authentication part. Okay, so what happens when we use this concept of a SSL part? So when authentication layer transfer this data, okay, so what will happen to the receiver? Okay, but it is given with to the SSL. अब यहाँ पर क्या होगा? Application layer will not directly transfer the data. It will pass that data to the SSL part. Okay, so that secure socket layer will receive that particular data. It will first provide encryption. क्या करेगा SSL हमारा पहले? It will provide encryption to the data, and after that it will add its SSL header. ठीक है? So application layer cannot directly pass the data to the transport layer, but it will first give the data to the SSL part. What SSL will do, it will first encrypt that particular data, and after that it will add its own header, that is SSL header, to that particular encrypted data. So that's why it is making the data more secure. So after that SSL add its header in the data, then that particular data will be transmitted on the network part. Okay, so what will happen at the receiver end? ये तो हो गया कि while sending the data, receiver end में क्या होगा? First of all, the transport layer will receive the header format. Okay, it will just change that SSL, it will remove that SSL header part and then decrypts the encrypted data. Okay, and then the message will be given to the application layer at the receiver end. So this is the way that how we can transfer that particular data. So what we'll do that at the application layer cannot, क्या होता है? You understand, I think you understood the concept of communication over the network. So we have, if two parties wants to communicate, so both the parties must satisfy their protocols. तो जो प्रोटोकॉल एक पार्टी पर है, एक सर्वर पर है, वो प्रोटोकॉल सेम हमारे पास क्लाइंट के पास भी होना चाहिए. ये होता है ना हमारे पास. तो not going in so much detail, you just understand that application layer will just pass that data to the SSL layer. So SSL layer, what will do? It will first encrypt that particular data, and after that it will add that SSL header format over it. Okay, so that is the SSL header format. It will add that SSL header format over the application layer. और receiver end में क्या होगा? Same that application layer the data transfer कर रही थी. At the receiver end, first the SSL header will be removed, and after that it will decrypt that all those data. ठीक है? वो सारा डेटा हमारे पास क्या डिक्रिप्ट करेगी in order to regain the original data. Okay, so this is the functioning of the SSL layer. Now this is the SSL protocol stack over here. This is very important, that what are the different protocols that we are using in this SSL. Okay, so we have a IP, TCP, SSL record protocol, HTTP, SSL alert protocol, SSL change cipher spec protocol, SSL handshake protocol. I again repeat, we have total 7 protocols in SSL. One is your SSL handshake protocol, SSL change cipher spec protocol, SSL alert protocol, HTTP is there, SSL record protocol, TCP, IP. All these are the protocols that are being used by SSL protocol, are under this SSL protocol stack over here. Okay, so as you understood that IP protocol also, you are aware with this TCP also, you are aware with this HTTP also. So we are not discussing all those protocols in details, but we will use that particular protocols only that are specifically used in the SSL part. So one is your SSL handshake protocol, another one is your SSL chain cipher protocol, SSL alert protocol, and the last one is the SSL record protocol. Okay, so that is your record protocol over here. Okay, so in this particular protocols, there are 2 important protocols that we are having. One is this is your important protocol. That is the SSL handshake protocol and SSL record protocol. Both these protocols are quite important. Students, you can hear me? Yes, Rohit, you can hear me? Rohit Kumar Singh. Mridul is there?
Hello.
Rohit,
Yes, ma'am.
my voice is audible, na?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
I'm audible.
Okay,
Audible.
okay, okay. Okay, so we have two basic protocols that is important, that is SSL handshake protocol and SSL record protocol. Clear? So what we mean by all these protocols, so we just have a look on that, and after that we will discuss in detail. So the very first protocol is SSL handshake protocol. Now the purpose of this SSL handshake protocol is to establish the connection between two entities. Okay, so it will establish the connection between two entities. That is the purpose of SSL handshake protocol. Okay, so handshake will, what it will do, I just write it over here, handshake. It will establish the connection over here. Okay, so it will establish or start a, we can say that transmission, or it will start that particular transmission. That is the working of this handshake protocol. So it will establish a connection between the two entities. Okay, so authentication of both the entities is done in this particular protocol. Okay, so it will be doing the authentication in this handshake protocol. So it will establish a connection and it will provide that authentication part. Clear? Next is your SSL record protocol. SSL record protocol. SSL record protocol. Now, what is the function of this SSL record protocol? It will provide confidentiality and the integrity. Confidentiality and the integrity. Okay, so this is also important. So हमारा जो security के तीन जो हमारे पास objective होते हैं, that is authentication, confidentiality and integrity. All these three factors are being obeyed by these two protocols. That's why both these protocols are very important, are considered to be very important in the case of a SSL protocol stack. Clear? So now you understand that why this handshake and SSL record is important, because under these two protocols only the concept of authentication, confidentiality and integrity are being obeyed. Clear? So that's why we use this SSL record, or they are some of the important protocol in the SSL protocol stack. Next is the SSL change cipher protocol. SSL change cipher protocol. Okay, SSL change cipher spec protocol. Spec is for specification. Spec protocol. SSL change cipher spec protocol. Okay, so we are having cipher spec protocol. Now how we can define this particular thing? It consists of one message. You just remember like this: one message, one byte and one value. So everything is one in this particular protocol. One message, one byte and one value. This you can define in your SSL change cipher spec protocol. One message, one byte and one value. That is defined under this particular change cipher specification protocol. Clear? One message, one byte, one value. So what it do, it causes the pending state to be copied to current state. It causes the pending state to be copied to current state. Okay, so it will see that which particular state is pending. So it will change that particular state to the current state. We will discuss all this algorithm in detail. You just look after the highlights of all these protocols. So we have a SSL chain cipher specification protocol. Just remember, it will consist of one message, one byte, and one value. Why so? Because it is causing the pending state. Pending state, at a time it will possess the instruction of only one message. Okay, so it will just we can say that implement only one message at a time. That's why everything is included in the one figure only. Causes the pending state to be copied to the current state. Clear? So this is regarding the SSL chain cipher specification protocol. In the end, we have SSL alert protocol. Now, what is the last protocol over here? SSL alert protocol. So what is it? What is that SSL alert protocol? It will alert protocol matlab it will tell you if there is any fatal error, if there is any fatal error, any warning message. Okay, so it will define you any type of error, fatal error, warning message. Okay, so at that time, what will happen? If there is any type of a fatal error or a warning message, it will just disconnect the connection. Okay, it will just disconnect the connection at that time. Clear? So this is regarding the SSL protocols. So we have, you can see that we have total 7 protocols in SSL protocol suite. So we are not, we just know about this TCP, IP, and HTTP. There are these 4 basic protocols that we use in SSL part. One is your handshake, another one is your SSL record. Then we have SSL chain cipher spec protocol, and the last we have SSL alert protocol. Clear? So handshake is the main handshake and the SSL record are the main protocols because both these protocol are implementing the main features of the security. So SSL handshake handshake protocol, what it will do, it will just establish a connection and it will provide authentication. Okay, so it will just see that whatever both parties are the true part, are the right parties to communicate. So it will establish the connection in between them. Then we have SSL record that will provide that confidentiality and the integrity part. And the third is the SSL chain cipher specification protocol that will just provide you with the one value, one message, and one byte. Okay, so it causes the pending state to be copied to the current state. It will just convert the pending state to the active state. So that is the functioning of this SSL chain cipher spec protocol. And in the last, we have SSL alert protocol, that is a fatal error. Alert means you always remember that you can have some warning messages or alert messages are there. So we need to see all those messages. We need to handle all those messages. And at that time, we will just disconnect the connection. Is it clear? So SSL is clear to you? So kindly raise your hands if you are satisfied. This topic is very, very important, very interesting topic also. But this is one of the most important topic. Like many times in exams, you can get 5 marks question related to this particular essay. Now, with this SSL is not finished, we will be discussing all those protocols one by one. Okay. So I think before moving further, I just discussed one poll with you. And in the next session, we can go for all those protocols one by one because I think it won't be completed within this particular time span. So I just share one poll with you. So student, just check to it. I am just launching that poll. Okay, students, I am going to share the results of poll with you. So the first question was that the major role of ESP is to provide confidentiality. So the first answer is the right one. Okay. So second question is that range of padding bits in ESP is that is 0 to 255 bytes. Okay. So that is also the right answer. That is the last option. Okay. Now this is the first. I just discussed with you the very first. The very first protocol with you, that is a handshake protocol. This is quite easy, and I just discussed with that particular thing with you. Okay. The very first protocol is the SSL handshake. So we are discussing over here SSL handshake. Now this particular SSL handshake is the backbone of SSL. So you just remember a term backbone, or we can say that this is a very important protocol in the SSL case. Why so? Because of the two factors. Because it provides secure connection. It provides secure connection. And the second thing is that because it provides authentication. It provides authentication. Okay. It provides secure connection, or you can say that it initiates this connection, and it also provides a authentication part. So that's why SSL handshake protocol is considered to be a backbone of SSL protocol. Clear? So what we do over here, this particular protocol has been divided into 4 phases. So the very first phase mein kya hai, that the very first step is that in this particular phase, the client will start the connection. So client will start the connection. It will say hello to the server part. Okay. So client will start the connection, and along with 4 parameters are passed to the server. So 4 parameters will be passed to the server over here. That will be passed by the client to the server. The very first is the SSL version. Okay. Then is that cipher suite, that what type of a cipher suite it is using. Okay, cipher suite is the list of cryptographic algorithm, compression methods, and the last one is the session IP. Okay, session IP. So these are the 4 parameters that will be passed by the client to the server. That is the SSL version, that what type of a version it is using. Okay, then is the cipher suite. Cipher suite will consist of all those cryptographic algorithms that are available at the client level, and the compression methods that it can use that are available at the client side. And in the last, it will also include the session IDs. Okay, session IPs that we can have, that what type of a session we can use on that particular system, on that communication channel over here. Okay, so we have a session IP on that particular communication bar. So everything will be passed by the client to the server. So who will start the communication? Client will start the communication by saying hello and by passing all these 4 parameters. Now what server will do? It will just respond to the client query. Okay, so it will just server will decide upon that what type of a algorithm, and it will send list to the client for future. Okay, so it will transfer that list to the client that these things are available, these things it will follow for the future communication part. Clear? So client will first say hello to server, then server will reply to the query of the client with this particular hello message. Now the next thing is that the first method was that establish a connection. So the first phase is known as establish a connection. Okay, so how we can define first phase as a establish a connection. Second phase is that server authentication and key exchanges. Server authentication and key exchanges. Second phase is known as server authentication and key exchanges. Now here what will happen, server will authenticate itself. So first of all, your server will gives the authentication to the client that and at that particular time client will not say anything. Okay, so at this particular time client will remain keep quiet and server will authenticates to its client by providing all those necessary details. Okay, by providing the certificate to the client, then server requests to the client to authenticate yourself also. Okay, so पहले क्या होगा, that server will authenticate itself to the client. It will provide that particular client with all those things. That is, it will give its authentication. It will give its own proof that it is the right server by giving the server certificates, and it can also provide its keys also. So server key exchanges at this, like at this particular moment, server can pass its public key to the client also. Okay, but it will require at the same time it will request the client also to authenticate itself. Okay, so it will request the client to authenticate itself also. So in this particular mode, we have a server authentication and key exchanges. There is no role of a client over here, and client will remain quiet during the complete session. After that, in the phase 3, we have a client authentication and the key exchanges. So at that time, when server will authenticate itself, now it's a turn for the client to authenticate itself. So it will provide client certificates and the client key exchanges to the server. So this particular phase is known as a client authentication and key exchanges. So it is known as a client authentication and key exchanges. Okay, so this is your phase 3. In the last phase, what will happen? This is your finalizing phase. This phase is known as finalizing phase. Okay, so दोनों ने authentic कर दिया. So our second step, first of all, was to provide secure connection. That is being done by phase 1. Second was to provide authentication. So that has been completed in your phase 2 and phase 3. Now what will happen over here in the fourth phase? It will start from client side. So client, this particular phase will be starting from the client side over here, and it will see that, so we can see over here that it will change all those things. It will start from the client side and it will change the cipher specification. So cipher specification means any encrypted data that cipher will pass upon on this to the server, and the server will respond to all those query of the particular client over here. Okay, so it changes the cipher specification, and finally your server will finish that particular communication over here. So handshake finished is done by the server part over here. Okay, so you can see that in this particular case, that message of the current status. So what will do? It will pass, in this particular case, message of the current status of the cipher protocols will be given to the server, and client will finish its work over here. So ये शुरू भी client करेगा and finish will be also done by the client side. Client will change the cipher specification service to the server, and after doing all those work, it will finish its connection over here. And at the same time, server will also respond to that particular thing. So what will here, that server will also change the cipher specification from the server side. Okay, so server will also finish all those concepts, and finally the handshake concept will be finished over here. Okay, so this is the main benefit over here, that first, I just repeat all those points. We have total 4 phases in the SSL handshake. Basically, SSL handshake is a backbone of your SSL layer. Okay, so why so? Because it provides secure connection and it provides authentication. There are total 4 phases in SSL handshake protocol. First phase is to establish a connection. Always remember one thing, that connection will be always initiated by the client and it will be always finished by the client. Okay, so first client will say hello to the server, server will respond, and also it will pass all those 4 parameters that we have already discussed. Server will reply to its hello with the values of all those parameters. Clear? So client will first tell the server that I am available with all those things, then server will tell us that okay, it will be using all those things of your at your client side. After that, in the phase 2, server will provides its authentication and the key exchanges. At this particular time, client will not do anything, it will remain quiet, and server will provides the certificates and all those keys that are available with the server. Okay, and it will also request the client to give its certificate also. So in the third phase, client will provide its certificates and the different keys that it will be using. Done. In the fourth phase, what will happen, they will change all those cipher specification. So this process will be started by the client side and it will allow for all those changes in the cipher specification, and it will end that particular communication channel. And after receiving all those data from the client, client will also receive that data and it will close that particular connection at that particular time. Okay, so this was all regarding that handshake, SSL handshake, and it is one of the very important topic in your SSL part. Clear? So I think I am done with this, all this thing. So if you feel like any problem, you can discuss with me later on. And if you are having any problem currently, you can ask me. So these are quite interesting topic. So when you will get the notes, you will feel, you just understand the topics in the class, and I will provide you all those study material, and also that study material is available in your books also. So if you feel like any problem discussing with me, you can contact me later on, and you can discuss anything related to this particular topic. So I hope that I'm done with today's session. So if you are satisfied and all those things, if you are quite important to you, yes, Mani. हाँ जी बेटे.
Ma'am, what were the 4 parameters at the first phase?
4 parameters are all those things that client will tell the server that I am available with all those things. ठीक है, like the 4 parameters is like that कि मैं client बता रहा है server को कि मेरे पास ये चीजें हैं, क्योंकि server के पास itself तो बहुत कुछ है, ठीक है ना.
Yes,
सर्वर के पास अपने कुछ प्रोटोकॉल्स भी होंगे, एल्गोरिथम, बट it is not like that na, कि client will be having all those things. So client will first tell the server that I am available with all those this cryptographic algorithm, ये compression method मैं use कर रहा हूँ, this is the SSL version that I am using, okay, so this is the session IP. So server will tell us, okay, you are using all those things, so I will work upon on all those things that you are having with me. ठीक है. सो ये सर्वर उसको एक्नॉलेज करेगा कि ठीक है तुम्हारे पास ये चीजें हैं, तो वट एवर द कम्युनिकेशन वी विल बी फॉलोइंग इन फ्यूचर, सो आई विल बी यूजिंग ऑल दोस थिंग्स, क्योंकि दोनों में प्रोटोकॉल्स मैच करेंगे तभी आगे कम्युनिकेशन होगा ना. तो इन द हैंडशेक, दिस इज द ओनली स्पेशलिटी ऑफ द हैंडशेक कि क्लाइंट की मर्जी चलेगी, जो क्लाइंट के पास है सर्वर को उसको सेटिस्फाई करना पड़ेगा.
ओके मैम,
ठीक है.
थैंक यू मैम.
ओके. Okay, thank you, bache. Thank you for your patience listening. I am again saying, if you feel like any problem, you can discuss with me afterwards. Thank you.